I'm going to go through 11 commander decks that I built based on a few M19 cards. I bought a lot of the M19 cards online. I have a peasant's budget, so I didn't buy absolutely everything. I built a Muldrotha deck in one of my videos using only Dominaria cards. I'm planning to build another Muldrotha deck on paper, and I've already built this one online with the, now that I'm incorporating a few M19 cards. I really rethought how Muldrotha worked, and I built what I think is a more synergetic deck, still a very budget deck. Uses enchantment creatures from Theros, and it uses artifact creatures. That way, when you're asked, hey, what do you want to bring this card in from the graveyard as? Something like Eidolon can be brought in as an enchantment or a creature, and something like the Doom Engine can be brought in as an artifact or a creature. I've got a Peasant's Mana base in here. It works fine for what I'm trying to do. Obviously, the mana base is very important in Commander and gets really expensive quickly. So all these decks have very much a Peasant's Mana base of common tap lands from from Ravnica 1, Ravnica 2, the Guild Gates, then some of the Scry lands, and then some of the common tap lands that you find in Deck Builder's toolkits. Nothing to write home about. They all share the specific Ravnica 1 signets, the signets in their colors. So all the decks have them. And then in this case, of course, being a Muldrotha deck, I want to be able to have a backup plan in case Muldrotha doesn't work out. I want to be able to do my own fishing out of the graveyard with Treasure Find. I'm also playing the Crucible of Worlds trick just because I'm running Crucible of Worlds through just about any deck that I can fit it into right now. That's really, I mean, it's laughable where I've put Crucible of Worlds, but I'm going to do that just for fun. Also, Kefnet, the Mindful lower right corner, I'm also putting him in here. And I put in Smuggler's Copter, just as much good stuff as I could. Dryad Greenseeker, middle row to the right. Another great M19 card that I'm trying out. So there's a couple of MVPs or MVCs, most valuable cards from M19 that you're going to find in many of these decks. I'm just trying them out. Same theme here. Of course, Reclamation Sage is coming out of M19, so it's going to be in here. Isareth top right. It's playing with the graveyard. I'm very curious to play this card, see how it plays out. And then I also put in Ramunap Excavator. Of course, I'm playing the Ramunap Excavator Crucible of World tricks in every deck that I can possibly play it in. Then I also dropped a Vraska the Unseen in here. I've played this card a lot before, back when I was in when it had just come out. I put in Shamanic Revelation. I really like it. Draw a card for each creature you control. Acidic Slime is a favorite of mine. Very popular card in Commander. I wanted a couple of flyers. And I wanted the Mistcutter Hydra because it cannot be countered. Then on Case the Menagerie, I'm not sure what the correct X is going to be. It is probably going to be 4 because I've got Erebus and I've got Eidolon on 4. On 3, I've got Ramunap and Reclamation Sage and Borderland Ranger. I don't know. I'll see how this deck settles. I catch myself using X equals 3 for Uncase the Menagerie a lot. I also built the Arcades Defender deck as best as I could. I think Assault Formation is a good backup plan in this deck in case Arcades gets exiled or something bad happens to him. I put in Privileged Position. I am putting in Nykthos, so I'm going to try to see how much devotion I can get out of this deck. It's an enchantment deck, so a lot of your cards stay on the board. So I put in all your enchantment goodies that I'm used to. I love enchantment decks. I also put in Birds of Paradise just so it could help me with mana. And as I mentioned before, every one of these decks has your signets that fit the colors. Tower Defense is a card that I lost against online, and I should have known. I mean, this card is from Gate Crash, of which I've cracked so many packs, and yet it's a card that flew completely under the radar until Arcadis came out. So I went through all the walls, all the Defenders cards that I could find in my selection online, which is not that large, but it's large enough for me to have found some. I also have Mesa Enchantress. I put in the 3 charms from Return to Ravnica block. Some counter spells, Tassa, so it can give me Scry. Vizier of the Menagerie is an MVP for me, so I'm putting it in every deck that I can. Satyr, Enchanter, and Cast Out are also MVCs, most valuable cards. Mentor of the Meek, of course. I've got some low critters that I want them to draw me cards. I put in Sigil of the Empty Throne because it kicks out 4/4 flyers. I don't know how good it's going to turn out. And I want to be able to exile anything, and that's why I put in Scour from Existence. Also put in Master Biomancer. I may want to lock out my opponent with Sphere of Safety. I am not sure. Then your Gishath Dinos. This deck built in itself just the way Excellent Block came out. And I love the Forerunner cycle. I really do. They're all tutors for a specific tribe. That's great. Tutors in Commander are fantastic. So this guy is in. And of course, Dryad Greenseeker is in every deck that it could possibly fit in here. Anything green gets his lady and see how she pans out. I've already played her and I really like her. I like that card a lot. Peasant's Mana Base. Then your Dino, your straight up Dino stuff. Enrage. Pillar of Origins to help me with my mana. Just your good old Dinos from Ixalan. You can pause it and check it out. You can also take the link that I'm putting on this post that goes to my blog, and you can see these decks there as well. And I'll be, as I test them and as I test the decks, I'll be posting to the blog, and I may even make a video. I'm not sure. So there's your Dinosaurs. I put in Conqueror's Galleon. It's a really good card. When it flips, you can do a bunch of stuff with it. And I put in the Gaia's Cradle from Ixalan. Itlimok, left side, middle. And I put in Radiant Destiny because it can lord my Dinosaurs if I have Ascent. I also put in the Vanquish's Banner because it can get me to draw cards every time I draw a dinosaur. And I put in Palladia-Mors in here. Why not? This is a casual deck. Just put it in, see what happens. It's got Flying Vigilance and Trample. That can't be bad. Then the Pirates with their Forerunner and Revel in Riches because it's got a very interesting alternate win con. Because if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. Not bad. Beckett Brass is the commander. Peasant's Mana Base. And then a good old selection of Pirates with some other cards, including Cultivator's Caravan, middle bottom. I love this card. I find myself putting it in many decks. There's a sub-theme of vehicles for Pirates that I really like. And I'm using a few vehicles. I also put in Master of Cruelties in here just because I can. And I want to have fun. And I also put in Tamiyo because I want to have fun. If neither fit, I'll take them out. I also have the big dragon, the big mythic dragon from Theros. Palladia-Mors, I put in all the Exert cards, and they fall into the Naya colors. Most of them, I think, if not all, fall into Naya. And my new friend, my new BFF, the Satyr Enchanter. So I went again with a bunch of Theros cards, a bunch of Theros enchantments. I am planning to build a God's Cube with Theros, Kaladesh, and Amonkhet. And so this is kind of like a kill two birds with one stone. I'm having fun playing with the new cards from M19, and I'm also preparing for that God's Cube. This one, because it's an enchantment heavy deck, is also on devotion. I don't know if it's going to work out. We shall see. It's got your usual good stuff for devotion from Theros. Of course, I'm trying devotion in 3 colors. That's going to be a little weird. If I can achieve it, we shall see. I put in the enchantments, the spear, so the Spear of Heliod. I think I also put in the red spear. The Hammer of Porphyros is called, and the Bow of Nylea. So I put all 3. So it's got a little bit of a participation thing going. Let's put them all in. I put in a few gods from Theros. I put in Rada. I put in the dragon from Dominaria. It's got some good stuff. We'll see how it plays. Glory Bringer. Some more gods from Theros. More things that can help me with my devotion. Then I put in the Vaevictis. I took the Brawl deck and just expanded it. It's got all the -1/-1 counters cards from Amonkhet, and what do you know? I'm doing the Ramunap Excavator Crucible of Worlds thing, and Dryad Greenseeker is in here too. Come right in, friends. And I've got I've got one of the double cards from Amonkhet block. These cards aren't that good, but I think this one is because it destroys target creature or planeswalker for 1 black. We've got a bunch of those by now. So I put in a few Return to Ravnica cards in here as well. Put in the charms that fit those colors. Put in Hapatra. Also put in the key runes. I just wanted to see how they play out, how the deck plays out when it's got a ton of mana rocks. And so I doubled up on the mana rocks for this deck. And I've got good stuff, just good stuff in the Jund colors with a little bit of devotion. I also have a Dictator of Erebos in here. Then I built a Jodah Wizards deck that is on color with white, blue, and red, even though Jodah can go 5 colors. And so it's an instants and sorceries deck. Nif Mizzet is my new BFF. I've played him in this 4-player commander junk sealed decks that I've been building. They have done terrible because they're going up against way stronger decks in 1 versus 1 commander online. And even then, Nif Mizzet has done reasonably well. I lose, but I don't lose terribly. It's incredible. Peasant's mana base, not going on Nykthos. This is not an enchantment deck. Good stuff in white, red, blue. Some participation cards from Return to Ravnica block, because I'll be building a Ravnica 2+3 big cube when Ravnica 3 comes out. The 3 sets of Ravnica 3. So it'll be Return to Ravnica and Guilds of Ravnica combined on paper, and then online it'll be all 3. All 3 Ravnica blocks. I'm going to make a big cube online with them and just play a bunch of decks for the 3 blocks with 9 sets. Glorious. Adderless is in here. I've got some, it's all wizards, instants, and sorceries. So, and I'm using the Wizard's Retort and Wizard's Lightning from Dominaria. I'm also using Medomai the Ageless. It's a pretty good commander. I've lost against it on 1 versus 1 commander. And of course, Curse of the Swine. Beautiful card. And Blasphemous Act. And I want to exile anything at least once in the game sometime, and that's why Scour from Existence is here. Then I did a Chromium Zombies. I took the Brawl deck and expanded it. I added all the stuff from Innistrad and Shadows of Innistrad. So it's a white, blue, black Zombies deck. Participation of as many as the double cards from Dragon's Maze and Amonkhet that made any sense for the deck. So I think this deck is going to be pretty weak, but it's going to be fun. I hope. And so there you have it, just white, blue, black zombies. The best that I thought could fit in the deck. And I've got an Hour of Revelation in here, and I've got a banner that I'll be naming for zombies. I put in a Helldozer because I have a bunch of, I already am preparing for my big triple Ravnica, three blocks of Ravnica Cube Online. So I already have rented the pixels for most cards from that block that I can afford with a peasant's budget. Then Surrak Energy, because in my view, white and black were the energy colors that got hosed out of Kaladesh block, and the other three got a really good synergy on energy. And so I put them all together in here, and I'm abusing Aetherworks Marvel and Panharmonicon, Peasant's Mana Base, and then just all the good energy critters that I could find. And then also, of course, Dryad Greenseeker is here, Arcane Encyclopedia is here. So all the cute cards, MVC's most valuable cards from M19 that could fit in here, I put in here. But it's mostly an energy deck. I also put in Rashmi. And I put in Metalwork Colossus. I put in some big critters that I could cast with Aetherworks. But this deck does not abuse Aetherworks. I find myself casting something that's like a 4-drop with Aetherworks, which is kind of a shame, but it's a casual deck. We're here to have fun. Then I built an Anafenza +1/+1 counters. This is my 10th deck. I got this one and one more to go. And it's all about +1/+1 counters. Peasant's Mana Base. Hardened Scales, of course, because it'll double my counters. Representation of the charms from Return to Ravnica block. Some cards from Cans of Tarkir block that came with Anafenza. O-Ring. Some representation from Theros. Siege Rhino, of course, why not? And Archfiend of Depravity, I love that card. And Vraska again. And Vizier of the Menagerie, I mentioned him before. He's one of my most valuable cards in all these decks. Finally, last one, Sidisi Zombies. I was going to build Gitrog Monster by itself, but I literally ran out of deck building energy by the time I got to the 11th build. I had already built 22 Brawl decks, and of course, Brawl looks like a dead format these days. Unfortunately, I hope it isn't. I had already built 22 decks for Brawl with some of the M19 cards and everything else that I had online. And then I was on this deck and I was like, okay, number 12 is going to be Gitrog. And I'm like, wait a minute. Gitrog is red, is black and green. You're in Gitrog. So this deck is Zombies and Gitrog. Peasant's Mana Base. Bunch of Zombies. Signets. Charms from Return to Ravnica. Our new friend, new BFF, Crucible of Worlds. Bunch of zombies. More zombies and more zombies. Gitrog and Muldrotha. And Uncage the Menagerie. And Grey Merchant of Asphodel. I have no idea how much devotion to black I'm going to have in here. But it's in. Tasa is in here. It's just like, you know, bring all your friends over and let's just party in this deck. And I'm done, friends. I hope you have a lot of fun.